So today we are looking at Carib Cement. Carib Cement has reintroduced dividends, or they've restarted their dividend program. Give us the update on Carib.
So, for context, it's relating to the whole Cemex group, basically, Kalila, not just to Carib Cement alone. So, just to give some context, Cemex is the ultimate parent company at the top. That company is listed on the New York Stock Exchange and on the Mexican Stock Exchange. Then you have Trinidad Cement Limited, which is also owned majority by Cemex. And then Antcell has majority shares in Carib Cement. So three companies, Cemex, Trinidad Cement, then Carib Cement. Carib Cement restarted its dividend payments back in 2022, 17 years post its last dividend payment. They paid $1.5 billion back in 2021, apologies, 2022, and in 2023 they paid about $1.9 billion. So that's to kind of show you that it's a significant step up because in 2005 they paid 7 cents, which is about $55 million. So $55 million then to be paying now 1.5, 1.9 billion J, big step up, right? Then last week, Monday, Trinidad Cement Limited, which owns 74.08% of Carib Cement here in Jamaica, they announced their first dividend payment in over what, 7 years? Because the last payment was back in 2017 and that was 2 cents. Trinidad Cement has announced an 8-cent dividend to be confirmed and approved at its AGM either this month or next month. And then, this announcement was preceded by Cemex, the ultimate parent company, announced that it had actually restarted its own dividend program and it's planning to pay out US $120 million over the next 4 quarters, and the payments start this month. Cemex should have last paid its own dividend to its own shareholders back in 2019. So I'm mentioning all of these facts to kind of show you that coming down the list of companies, you realize that shareholders were not getting any dividends over this period of time. It's really been what you'd call, I should say, tough luck or, just bitter medicine. But Carib Cement, we're here after 17 years. They're meeting this week to recommend a dividend to be confirmed at the AGM later this year to pay to shareholders. That's likely to be very large. Because right now, Carib Cement is actually, for one, debt-free. Key point, they're debt-free right now. They are expanding their capacity by 30%, which is equivalent to about 27% of the country's national cement consumption. They're able to Turks and Caicos, and they plan to export to other markets once the expansion is done. And you're still talking about the reality of having 12,000 hotel rooms being developed over within 2024, 2026, alongside other elements of construction in domestic markets. With respect to Trinidad Cement Limited, the good thing for them is Carib Cement is performing. And the reason why I say it in such a way is that if you were to remove Carib Cement's performance out of Trinidad Cement Limited's numbers, go to the annual report, just go to the NCI, non-country interest area, look at how they did their calculation and actually pull out Carib Cement, the overall group goes into a loss automatically. So because Trinidad Cement owns majority interest in Carib Cement, they're having positive numbers. And because the Jamaica business, in this case, Carib Cement, is paying dividends, Trinidad Cement can now pay dividends. And Trinidad Cement is owned by a Cemex subsidiary, which means that the money can flow out as well up to Cemex. A Cemex subsidiary owns 4.96% of Carib Cement directly. So overall, Cemex, in a sense, owns about 79.04% of Carib Cement. So it's a lot of information to take in, but hope that makes some sense.
So it really was just a patience game for Carib Cement shareholders.
17 years, Khadila? That's an entire child. That's the
It
best way to
really
put it.
is. It really is.
Uh,
So what's the ex-dividend date for somebody to be able to benefit from the next Carib dividend?
It doesn't been announced as yet. So what Carib Cement does is that they follow the Cemex model, which is the board will recommend a dividend, it will go to the shareholder meeting to be approved, and then it's paid out. So we're looking at probably around September/October for that dividend payment, probably earlier around August. So it's around this window between August to October when you're going to actually see that payment. What we don't know as yet is when that Carib Cement AGM is actually going to be held. So that's the big wild card in the room right now. But the British Indian Cement Limited shareholders would have to be on record as at August 13 to get dividend payment on September 9.
So you still have time to move if you want to benefit from that dividend. This is the time to do it
Basically,
now on
and
August, early August.
the thing is, Carib Cement, their first quarter results looked significantly improved over the prior year, but that was because in 2023 Q1 they had a general shutdown for maintenance, which is why the numbers look so much better. But even in 2023, when there was a relative slowdown in cement demand, they were still able to generate their highest level of revenue and profit to date, $27 billion worth of revenue and $5 billion worth of net profit, 20% net profit margin, which is still pretty good. And if you look at Carib Cement's books right now, they're seeing a whole lot of cash, at least $6 billion in cash. And they're just selling cement like, wow.
All right. So we look out for that. Thanks so much for that update, David.
You're welcome, Kalila. And this is my final 2 points. Read the whole tax announcement earlier. It is a little bit short-sighted, and someone made that very highlight strong point of they skipped regulation and went straight to ban. The reality is Jamaica faces a current situation whereby we don't have enough JUTC, or what you'd call the transport
Public transportation.
operations. Well, specifically, the ones that provided by the government, and even though you have
Right.
other licensed alternatives in the case of the passenger vehicles, like your coastal little minibuses and taxis that carry particular routes, the Ubers and the alternative options, they do serve a market for persons who want, to work on their own time potentially. That's for the driver on their side, and for the passenger, they get to their destination without breaking bank. We saw the news on Monday, with respect to the teacher, condolences to her family, and it is a very unnecessary blanket ban to just basically throw out an entire industry over what one would call one rogue player in a sense. So the regulation is needed, but to just outright ban the industry is not going to solve the problem. It's only going to create additional issues because the persons who work in these spaces, that's less income for them because they might have to run in the risk now of operating outside of the remit of the law, and also persons who use these services to get around and get around on a time, they're going to basically be fighting to haggle with the remaining operators, or the older, more established operators, to get a cab. So you're shrinking supply, but the demand is still there. Basic economics tell you is that the prices are going to go up, or you're going to have a situation of a shortage. So I hope that makes some level of sense. I'm sure Mika would have added a comment right here, but those are my 2 cents on the whole issue.
All right. Thanks so much, David. We appreciate it as usual.